Hello, this is Jason, back with another walk and talk. And it's pretty nice out for a day for walking. 67 degrees. And it is kind of cloudy. Not the most beautiful day, but it does feel nice. I would rather walk in a day like this where it is cloudy than have the sun beating down on you, that wretched ball of fire in the sky. But gotta admit that when the sun's out, it is a little bit more appealing to the eye. And I've already tended to my blister on my foot. So the last video that I posted here, I walked 7 miles that day, and I hadn't walked that far in a while, and I didn't put anything on my feet, and I am prone to blisters. And I would guess just because of my weight. Like, do people normally get blisters? Does a normal weight person get blisters if they walk? Like, I had the blister within 4 miles. By the time I got to the picnic table, I had a blister. That was 4 miles. Is that normal? Just to walk 4 miles and have like a very painful quarter-sized blister on the ball of your foot. And it's not my shoes. It happens in any kind of shoes I wear, with socks and tennis shoes. I don't know. With sandals though, I don't think I got blisters when I had sandals. And this is another thing that's funny. So I'm carrying my backpack, so I got my little mount here on my shoulder. I noticed the last video when I was wearing you guys down on my like fanny pack belt, the camera was swinging around wildly. So sorry about that. I know people have said that they mostly just like listen to these walk and talk videos when they're like working out or something. So hopefully it doesn't annoy too many people. And it wasn't the whole video, but there was definitely parts of it where the camera was flipping around so much. So I'm wearing it on my shoulder now. And I'm wearing my backpack that I had since high school. So I have all these different backpacks and slings and all this stuff, but I have 2 pairs of jeans that I'm shipping out, and they're too big to fit in my slings. And I'm also, I have my backpack for sale, so I'm trying to keep it looking new. I don't want to mess it up, even though I took it all the way to Thailand. But I'm wanting to get a different backpack. Now, I'm gonna put you on my shoulder, which is way more stable than what it was on my belt. Well, we'll find out. I say that now, but we'll see. And you're up a little bit higher. You're about chin height on me, which is about 5'10", maybe 11. So this is a more normal perspective that you would expect to see, rather than down at crotch level. Little people cam. But yeah, I'm wanting to get a different backpack setup. Like the one that I have now is the Osprey Farpoint 55. And the 55 is the total capacity between the backpack and the front pack. So the backpack's 40 and the front pack's 15. And I think it's kind of a waste of space, like to use that 15-liter bag is like your personal item for getting on a plane, because you could bring a much bigger bag than that. So my idea is to get the Osprey Sojourn Porter 46-liter. So that's 6 liters bigger than my current backpack, and then get a Osprey Farpoint 26 plus 6. So it's a 26-liter bag, which that already is 11 liters bigger than my current pack that I wear on my front. And then it unzips around the outside, and it'll expand to give you 6 more liters. And it is small enough to fit under the seat in an airplane, so it can be a personal item. And the Sojourn is technically oversized by most airline standards, but it's so close that like all the people in the comments say they never got stopped. Like, it's not an issue. All right, what's going on here? Let me cross over. Construction blocking the whole road. So that's the idea. Give me some more capacity. So I'll go from 55 liters to, well, now you make me do math. 72 liters plus 6 up to 78. So that's a pretty big difference. It is more expensive to buy those 2 bags because they don't come together. You have to buy them separately. And they're not, it's made to work together like the one that I have. Like mine has little buckles that buckled into the shoulder straps of the backpack to dangle the front pack off of. Or this one, I just have to put it on like a backpack, but backwards on my front. And then put my backpack on to hold the straps on. Don't know how comfortable that'll be. I'm sure it won't be as comfortable as what I currently have, because that one's really made to work that way. So that's the plan. And not only am I trying to get more capacity, but I'm trying to figure out things that I can eliminate too. That way I can like accumulate stuff on the way. I don't want to be packed to maximum capacity right as I'm leaving the United States and not be able to pick anything else up, you know. I need some I'll acquire things along the way, which I'll try to not acquire. Let me see if I can get across here without dying. Try to not acquire too many things, but never know. And I'm looking into eliminating my MacBook, which is 6 pounds of the weight, and maybe just keep an iPad. I like to have an iPad to watch movies and shows while I'm on an airplane or waiting. Don't really want to use your phone when you're like on a travel day, because you don't want to like burn up all your phone battery watching a movie and then get to where you're going and not have enough battery to use like Google Maps or, you know, do stuff that help you get to where you need to go, or get help if you need it. And the solution to that is bringing a external battery charger, which I do have like a 10,000 milliamp hour external battery, but still, I think having an iPad is good as well. And that Luma Fusion app I've been using, you could use it on an iPad or on a iPhone. So it's possible. So that's the software that I'd use to edit videos, which I'm using to edit this video right now. So easy. So when I get there, I just have a USB-C to USB-C cable, plug in my camera directly to my phone, copy it over, and then edit it in the app, and uploads directly to YouTube. So convenient. I thought it'd be like too cumbersome to work, but they figured it out. It works well. So, that boy had an interesting haircut. That's a nice truck. I like that bright orange. That's Bitcoin orange right there. I got Bitcoin brain. All right. Dropped the jeans off. So 2 pairs of jeans I sold. And they were just old, worn out pair of jeans. And they're way too big for me. They're 42 waist. I'd forgot that I even got up that big. I thought I only went up to 40, but I'm down to 38s at the moment. And I think my normal size is like 34. And that's if I'm not a fatty. So that's the goal, is to get to 34 again. 34, 34. 34 waist, 34 inseam. So I was thinking today about just the purpose of life. And I guess that's something different for everyone. Some people's purpose are their children or their husband or wife, their marriage. And I was trying to think what my purpose is, what drives me, why, what motivates me to get up in the morning. And I think it's just exploring the world and learning all there is to know about this universe. So just exploring the world, or the possibility of exploring the world, is what's been motivating me for the last few years anyway. It used to be, I'd say my job used to be my motivation, my purpose, reason I get up. Wanting to learn all there is to know about computers and Microsoft software. But that purpose has long faded for me. I've no more interest in learning new software. Well, software that serves my purposes, like that Luma Fusion software. I learned that. It wasn't that complex though. It's pretty easy actually. Very intuitive. If you've used any editing software, it's easy to use. But I mean, just learning very complex Microsoft Server software and applications, I don't have an interest to do that anymore. I've spent a couple decades doing that, and I'm burnt out. So I'm just kind of coasting along with what I know. And my job is kind of changing around me. I had my end of year review at work, and as of now, I'm doing good. I'm still above average. And find out what my bonus is and if I get a raise or not, like in a couple weeks here. But you know, I'm kind of coasting on what I know, and the business is changing where a lot of stuff is going to cloud solutions. So with Microsoft, that's Microsoft Azure, and all these complex storage solutions like and they're a pain. So not only are they like complex, but they're not working properly. At least the ones that we see, because I work in support. But I've not been supporting them. And that's where the business is going. And I've been working on a lot of like licensing stuff, mainly. That's like 90+% is all stuff I've been working on. It's just licensing and activation issues. And then occasionally like some Active Directory issues or remote desktop and just some core Microsoft stuff. But it's been, that stuff's getting fewer and farther between. I guess the Windows Server operating system is just getting more stable, and more people are moving to the cloud, so they don't even have on-premises servers as much as they used to. And so the things that I know are becoming less in demand. And I'm not wanting to change. I'm already feeling like I'm at the end of my career. And I know I have the goal of making it until I'm 50 years old, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to make it that long. So they talk about these licensing cases. They're wanting to like move them to a different group. They want the group that I work in to only work on the really complex cloud solutions. And I'm not wanting to learn that. So when that happens, like 90% of my caseload is going to go away. And then probably within a year of that happening is when I'll be let go, if not sooner. Because there are people that are on my team that aren't doing, they're doing like 10% of the workload that I've been doing, and they've been doing that for like a year or two. And I'm pretty sure they're on the chopping block. If you don't do your fair share, you do get the axe. But I work for such a big corporation that it takes a while for that axe to fall. They have to, first your performance has to go down for at least a couple quarters, and then you get put on a performance improvement plan. And if you don't improve after probably like a year, then that's when you can get the axe. So I guess it'd be 18 months from when those licensing cases get moved to another group that I would be out the door if I actually wanted to hold on. Which as of right now, I have to hold on. All my investments are not doing so well this past month, really the past 3 months. So I need things to turn around. And if they do, if history serves, then Bitcoin should be 2 or 3 times higher than it is right now by October, November. So if that happens, then I'm all good. I'll deleverage my portfolio. And I'm really hoping that my house value turns around. It's just been going down. And I think that all the deportations are going to make it even exacerbate it more. Like if they're talking about deporting like 10 million people, those 10 million people live in some houses, so that'll free up houses, give more supply, which more supply means lower demand for your house, which means the value of it goes down. Basic economics. But for the same reason, to counter that argument, like if I thought that was, absolutely what's going to happen, I'd have my house up for sale right now. But there's an alternative narrative that could play out, which is the same narrative that will cause Bitcoin to go up. And that is that global liquidity is going up, which means more money in the system, which means more people with dollars looking to park them somewhere. And they did it before, like when and liquidity is just money getting put into the economy. So like when COVID happened, there was, a big print from the Federal Reserve put a lot of money into the system, and that's when the housing prices rocketed up, because there was even people had more money, and not your average worker, they got a few $1,000 or whatever, but there's a lot of money pumped into investment firms. And so they went around buying all kinds of properties, and they would be bidding for houses like tens of thousands of dollars over asking price. Let me see if I can not die here. So I think that kind of scenario could be playing out again. Not quite at the level that it was 2020, but there is a cycle to global liquidity, and we are on the uptrend of the cycle, and the price of Bitcoin usually follows behind, because people get money and then they buy Bitcoin. Not only do they buy Bitcoin, but they buy everything. So like housing prices go up, used car prices go up. So that's the alternative narrative that I'm hoping plays out, rather than, supplies going up too much from like deportations and stuff. But don't really know how many illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants, whatever your politically correct term is, there actually are. So, and then how many of them are actually living in houses that could affect the supply to make the value of my house go down. Even though my house has gone down like 1% in the past month, since January. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So kids are getting out of school. I look like I just got out of school. This is the backpack that I was wearing when I was in school. I'm just a big kid. And then the other, so that's another one of my big assets is my house. And then the other one's 401k, which I have completely invested in the S&P 500. And hoping that holds up. But that one I'm less worried about because, I can't touch it for 14 years. So, the stock market could drop 80% tomorrow, but I guarantee that it'll be much higher, probably double higher 14 years from now. I think it's 3 times higher than it was 14 years ago from today. So I'm expecting it at least be 2 times higher 14 years in the future. But you just have to not touch it. Like trying to time the market. I've tried that so many times. I've done it in the past, so it did help me in the past, but then I've also screwed up and lowered my returns. So the old saying of time in the market is better than timing the market, I think has some truth to it over long periods of time. Like even Warren Buffett had some bet with somebody that like hedge funds wouldn't outperform the S&P 500 over a period of some amount of time, maybe it was 10 years, and Warren Buffett won that bet. They were not able to outperform just an index fund. Let me see if I can reach in my bag without taking it off. Get my tea. Come on, tea. Got it. Snapple Pete's tea, but it's not really because I made this at home. It does have caffeine though, which is a positive thing for weight loss. A little boost to the metabolism. And so I'd originally said I was just going to do a meat and salt diet, but I've also added some fish, to the lineup. So meat, fish, and salt. And then I'm also adding Worcestershire sauce on my steak when I'm cooking my steak and my hamburger. Gives it a little extra flavor. And there's probably something in it that's beneficial. There's no carbs in it, I don't think. And I'm also gonna put some vinegar on my chicken and fish to give it a little bit more flavor. I'm gonna try. I have not done that yet, but I'm gonna try it. Because I think it's only been 4 days of me eating just meat and salt and fish and salt. Or first it was just meat and salt, now added fish. But that would be really hard to do. I think it's easier doing steaks. What I did before on the carnivore diet, I had, steaks with butter, with my Parmesan crusted steaks I was making. Like, they're delicious. This is like pretty basic. So I'm already looking to add something to it to give it a little bit more flavor. And that's what I had sitting around the house. Worcestershire sauce. That's there's a funny little video I saw once. It's like the 3 hardest words to say in the English language, or 3 hardest things to say in the English language, not necessarily words. Scratch that part. Anyway, is I love you, I'm sorry, and Worcestershire sauce. Funny. And I got all kinds of different kinds of fish. I got tilapia, cod, salmon, tuna, like ahi tuna, and then some other kind of tuna. Plus I have canned tuna in water, not oil. And some fish that's from Vietnam that I cannot remember the name of. All right, I got salmon fillets, swai. Look at this guy. Nice. So swai, S-W-A-I. I'd never heard of that fish before, and I cooked it up in the air fryer, and it kind of reminded me of eating a potato. Some mashed potato fish. That's what it reminded me of. Okay. And then what else do I get? I got yellowfin tuna. I got flounder, cod, catfish nuggets, tilapia. So the catfish nuggets were really cheap too. $1.99 a pound. Where like catfish fillets are like $7.99 a pound. So these nuggets, I guess, are just like when they carve up a nice looking fillet, it's just the pieces on the ends or something. Or if a fillet falls apart and it just doesn't look pretty, there's just all these bits, little nuggets. But I mean, it's catfish. It still tastes like catfish. So $1.99 a pound. Can't beat that. So that was like 60 some bucks for all the fish. Then I paid 60 some bucks for all the meat. But all the stuff that I have, I'm pretty sure will last me like a month or more. So 120 bucks for enough food to last a month. That's cheaper, way cheaper than my SAD diet. SAD diet is the standard American diet. Which I was ordering, you know, when I cooked at home, I'd cook chicken and rice, maybe make some curry, make something a little spicy, or spaghetti. That's actually pretty cheap. Those cook at home meals. Rice is super cheap. You can buy for like $15 for 25 pounds or something. That'll last. And then when you actually cook it, like a cup of rice cooks up into a big portion of cooked rice. So rice is a really good value food. And it'll be part of my diet once I'm in maintenance. And then spaghetti was super cheap. You get that for like a dollar for a pound of spaghetti, and then I don't know, like 75 cents per can of just tomato sauce. That's not spaghetti sauce, just tomato sauce, and then you add your own herbs and garlic and stuff in it. Make your own spaghetti sauce out of a can of tomato sauce. That's a pretty economical meal. But that's not all I was eating. I was getting on DoorDash and ordering some Arby's. I heard somebody say, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God." That's from a song. Do you recognize it? I don't remember the name of the song, but it was from A Tribe Called Quest. Like, went to Carville to get a milkshake. This honey ripped me off for all my loot cakes. Money, yes, there's money in my pocket. Somebody broke into my car and cold. I don't know the words. Something like that. Then at the end of it, he's just going, "Oh my God, yes, oh my God." So this is the new intersection. It's finally completed, which I did walk on the other side of the street the other day and showed this, but it's very nice. Very nice. I would like to cross over to the other side. Wait, you wait. Wait. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. Bum, 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 bum. Get halfway there. Oh, halfway there. Up. All right. Now I could go down that way, but I think I'm gonna head back. I never started my walk timer and it never even asked me. I assume it's just tracking me. Don't have to make it a workout. It still counts my steps. And someone, brand new sidewalk, can't have anything nice. Elijah Jack. Look at this. This is why we can't have nice things. Brand new sidewalk, spray painted. Yeah, so I think that's my purpose, is exploring the world, being the eyes of the universe. There's so many beautiful places, beautiful things to see. And my purpose is definitely not sitting at home working on a computer for 40 hours a week during the best times of the day to, oh my goodness, look what Jack did. I know that was Elijah Jack that did that too. The horsies. All those birds. You guys stink. You guys stink. You stink. Oh man. There was I don't know what it was, Instagram or some on Twitter, but it showed it was basically like the story of what it's like to be a working class individual in today's society. It showed a kid, coming out of college. He's got his cap and gown on, and a guy comes up to you and says, "I'll give you $50 if you stand right here." and so he's like, "Okay, I'll do it." So he's just standing in this, square, and like his friends come up, like they're skateboarding, like, "Come on, man, we're gonna go skate." He's like, "No, I'm working. I'm working for a living now." And he's just standing in the square. And then the guy comes up to him and is like, "Oh, hey, good job here. You've done such a great job for me. Like, I would like to promote you." And he takes him to like a bigger square to stand in. He's like, "Oh man, I can see the bridge from here. Thanks." And then it shows him pan up, and he's like old and gray, coming to the end of his life. And he's like, here's $2,000. He started off getting $50 to stand in the square and not be able to go anywhere or do anything, go have fun. And now he's old and gray. Now he's getting $2,000 to stand in the square and not go anywhere or do anything, enjoy life. He's like, "Thanks. You were a hard worker for me your whole life." And then, it's just it kind of sums it up. You're sitting around letting life pass you by, and working for the man by standing in one spot and not going out to explore the world. And you really don't need, like, it's really the materialistic things of the world is why you need to do it. Like, I understand if you get a wife and kids and you have to support them, that's a whole nother level of responsibility. But I mean, if you're a single individual, really, you're working for materialistic things. Car, you want a nice fancy car, you want a big house. Like even my house, I live in a 3-bedroom house. It's like 1,900 square feet. I don't use 2 of the bedrooms. I don't use the living room. I don't use the dining room. It's like a bunch of wasted space. I've got it paid off, but that was what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go work, get money to buy a big house and then I have to pay like $6,500 a year in property taxes, so I don't even own it. I paid it off, and I still have to pay $6,500 a year just to stay in something that I paid for in full. And then on top of that, I got to pay another $3,000 a year for insurance in case this thing that I paid off goes up in flames somehow. Or I did have hail damage. I had to replace the roof. So, it's just a money trap. And you really don't need it. I know I don't. I'm trying to become more minimalistic and let go of materialistic things. I mean, Buddhist monks do it to an extreme. They give up everything. All they have is a robe, a toothbrush. I watched some video of like what they have, and they don't earn money. They don't have any possessions really. And they depend on people to donate food to them. So they wake up in the morning and they go walk down the street and people give them food. I mean, that's giving up material things to an extreme that I'm not going to go to. But I'm going to go down to 2 backpacks plus some stuff in storage. There's things that I want to hold on to, my old yearbooks, old photos, actual physical photos that I have. And just, maybe like, but I mean, I've been throwing stuff away that used to mean something to me. And I'm just like, I really don't need this. And I get fewer and fewer things. And I realize the remaining things I have, I really don't need either. Like we buy these things. It's always thinking like, oh, if I get this thing, I'll be happy. And I am usually. I get a new iPhone, I'm happy for like 2 or 3 days. But then it's just another thing that I have. And get a car like my Tesla, it made me happy for maybe 2 or 3 months. That was a big one. So, but I mean, then it just becomes another thing. And then the value of it is depreciating. So I think I'll be much happier when I have less things and more freedom. I think increasing the amount of freedom that you have will make you, or at least make me, happier than having more things. That's my intuition and kind of teachings, ancient teachings that say the same thing, that I'm sure they were based on some truth, like Stoicism that I talked about before, and Marcus Aurelius. And he realized that all material things was not like the key to happiness. Happiness like comes from within. And I think that the more stuff you have can actually lead you farther from happiness, because it's more of a weight, more of another thing that keeps you on the hamster wheel, running the rat race, just to maintain or get new things. So, and it also reminds me of Fight Club. It's one of my favorite movies, where at the beginning, he's going through like the list of all the things in his house that he had to have, listing all the designer stuff and just material things that he had. And he's like, sometimes the things you own end up owning you. And ever since I've heard that line, you know, I never really acted on it, but it's always been like a bug in my ear that always, I think of it, like things that you own end up owning you. Like my house, my car, all these things just tie me down to a certain spot, and they end up dictating the path that my life takes. So, in the not far future, I'm going to relieve myself of all of these things. Sell my car, my house, everything that I can't fit into 2 backpacks and carry with me around the world. I'm gonna roam the earth like that dude from Kung Fu.
What you gonna do then?
Basically, I'm just gonna walk the earth.
What you mean, walk the earth?
You know, like Caine in Kung Fu. Walk from place to place, meet people, get in adventures.
And how long do you intend to walk the earth?
Till God puts me where he wants me to be.
And what if you don't do that?
If it takes forever, then I'll walk forever.
I have a lot of movie quotes in my brain. I can convey a lot of ideas in just movie quotes and song lyrics. So I think that that's going to be the key to me finding true happiness. And I wouldn't even say that I'm unhappy necessarily. It's just mundane, monotony, Groundhog Day, living the same day over and over, where I'm safe, I'm fed, I'm warm at night, a nice comfortable bed that I love to sleep in. That's not necessarily happiness. I'll be much happier having new experiences, vacations that I've gone on, and all the experiences that I've had have been much more memorable to me and impacted my state of being way more than any material possession has. Like I was going through cars, let me look back at my YouTube videos, all the different cars that I had in the past 10 years. What a big waste of money that was. None of that made me happy, and they definitely didn't make an impact on who I am as a person, where all the places that I've gone and people that I've met have definitely had an impact on my life. And that's the kind of experiences that I want to pursue, where in my current state, I'm only able to do that, 6 weeks out of the year, which is more than most people. Some people only get like 2 weeks. 2 weeks of time off work to go have experiences that can really have an impact on your life. And that's all you get, 2 weeks. Like what? It's ridiculous. At least I get some more time, but it's still not enough. Like that month I spent in Thailand was so freeing. I just had a great time with all the people that I met, all the meetups and meeting people from around the world and trying all this different food. Everything was so new and exciting. And I want to keep doing that. I want to have that kind of feeling every day I wake up. I want to get up and be like, I'm going to go experience something new today. Where when you stay in the same spot I've been here for like 18 years, since April 2007. I've experienced pretty much all there is to experience around here. And it's all familiar. There's not too many original things happening around here for me. So I think that's my purpose. And I'm going to try to fulfill that purpose as soon as I can. And my purpose may change in the future. Like I said, then 18 years ago, my purpose was trying to become as proficient in Microsoft operating systems in my career that I could and make a bunch of money so I could buy a bunch of nice things. That felt like it was my purpose then. But now that I've obtained those things and found that they really didn't fulfill me, that my purpose has evolved. And maybe just being free and traveling around the world will not be fulfilling after a while too, and I want to do something else. So I don't know. We'll see. But as of now, that feels like what I need to do. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. That's all I got. So, I'll talk to you later. Take it easy.